Hi, everybody, and welcome to our team call. Today is May 12th, and I am super excited because we have a special guest speaker, Colleen Eddy, who is a 3-star diamond coach. And we kind of connected, I don't know, a couple months ago, longer than that, actually. I guess it was the end of last year, maybe. And Colleen is just awesome. And she's got a special topic that she's going to talk to us about that I'm really excited to hear from her about. And so here are just some stats about Colleen, just to introduce her. She's currently number 87 in the company out of 300,000 coaches, which is pretty amazing. She's gonna be 4-star this week. Whoop, whoop. Little pre-celebration, and then 5-star qualifying next week. That is pretty awesome. For those of you who are newer coaches, 5-star, when you're a 5-star diamond coach, that's pretty legit. It's like a really big milestone in your coaching career. So that's awesome. Her second CBC, her second business center is diamond, and her fiance is a 2-star diamond. So that's pretty legit. So not only has Colleen got herself to 5-star qualifying next week, but her fiance's account is also 2-star diamond. That's just like amazing right there. You've got to have some serious business building leadership skills to make that happen. And she's a 2014 Premiere Coach. So along with Emma and myself, she's Premiere last year, and it was also her first full year as a coach, which is pretty awesome to achieve that your first full year. So, and she's going to be a Success Club All-Star Legend next month, which is legit also. For those of you who don't know, when you're a Success Club All-Star Legend, that means that she's hit Success Club 24 months in a row. 24 months in a row she's hit Success Club. So that's awesome. She's helped a lot of people, obviously, and I'm just super stoked to listen to her talk to us about mindset, because it's something super important in your business and really is kind of like make or break. It's really vital if you want to grow your business and be successful. So, Colleen, I'm going to turn it over to you, and just get started.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If we have any gentlemen, I don't know. I can't see any right now, but
I don't think we do.
So you guys, what'd you say?
Oh. I said I don't think that we do, but we're
okay,
ladies' night.
So you guys are lucky number 23 tonight. This is my 23rd time talking about mindset. So if you want to call me the crazy, passionate lady about mindset, feel free, because I totally am. It is the only reason that I have survived the last 24 months of my life. It's been crazy. I'm going to share a little bit about my story with you guys, a little bit about my business, and kind of what this whole thing has been like. And then I'm going to rock your world with some mindset stuff. So a little bit about me. I'm 29, going on 30 in August, getting married in just about the same amount of time as Alexa on June 30th. So weird, getting married on my 2-year coach anniversary. Really creepy. I grew up in Massachusetts. I now live in Northern California. I used to work for corporate America. I was a retail store manager for Verizon Wireless for about 5.5 years. I did very well with that job. And at that job, it taught me a lot of things that I'm grateful for today. And to be honest, that's what I thought I was going to do forever. I got that job right out of college. And right out of college, I thought growing up on the East Coast is a little bit different than the West Coast. And so I really thought that it was about that resume, that I got married, that I had kids, that I bought a house, that I got wrinkly, that I got fat, that I got old, and then I never slept because I had kids. I swear to God, that's how I thought my life was going to go. Thankfully, it's not. Thanks to Beachbody, a lot of that has changed. But when I was working at Verizon, I moved up very quickly from sales to management. And if anyone understands retail management, it in a way kind of kills your soul slowly. You don't have holidays to yourselves. I love technology. I'm very tech savvy. Any gadgets that I can possibly get my hands on, I'm so there. So I was passionate about my job at the time as far as the industry went. I was 23 years old, managing 30 people in a I don't actually want to say multi-million-dollar store. Let's just say a high-volume store that was in New Hampshire at the time. And I think back and I was like, holy crap, I was 23 doing this crazy job. I don't even know how I did it, but it's what I thought I was supposed to do. I got the itch to travel, fell in love with California, as most people do. And I said, I need to get the heck out of here. I was so not a New England girl. I hated the weather. So when I came out here, I was able to transfer my Verizon job. And I knew I wasn't going to give up the fancy corporate job because it was what I was supposed to do. And I came here, and the lifestyle for me was everything I could imagine. The camping, the boating, going to the lake. I live in Lake Tahoe, California, literally one of the most beautiful places in the world. I've lived here for over 5 years now, and it still like has my heart. I'll never get sick of it. But unfortunately, I had a manager that was literally the devil. She made my life a living hell every single day. My relationship failed. I mean, completely failed. I was with Sean then. We're getting married now, but back then it was completely failing. I would come home from this job, and he is a California boy, born and raised. He grew up like this rainbow butterfly life, like everything's cool, I'm chilling, and I'm just like, this business, I'm miserable, I just want to kill everyone, and it was not okay. But I was in that tunnel vision way that I had to survive, and I had to get through it, and it never even crossed my mind to quit. Like, I think back to that, and all we do is we talk to people about making their lives happy. No one even ever helped me. I just went to work miserable every day. So after working with this miserable boss, she literally verbally abused me. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I had stomach ulcers, which is how I found Shakeology. And one day she came up to me and said, "Hey, Colleen, I had this great opportunity. There's a store that needs you, but you have to transfer." And I was like, yes, I will do anything to get out of there with her. So she transfers me to this other store, and I helped a struggling store improve their numbers a lot. I'm so excited, but I was really sad because I had to leave Lake Tahoe. Reno, Nevada is nothing like Lake Tahoe, for those that know. So when I got to this store, I just stood up proud and tall and helped these people I'd never worked with before bring up their numbers. I come into work one day, and there's a bunch of random people there, and I was handed an envelope, and it was from human resources. I'd never met them before, but I kind of thought that they were people training us on new technology because, people from Microsoft used to come in and people from Android. And so they hand me this thing, and I'm just like, what is this? Just like going about my business. They're like, "I'm sorry, Colleen, your store is closing." And it's like, what? So I later found out that the manager that transferred me knew that store was closing. So we didn't get along. She made my life a living hell, and I lost my corporate job. Like, literally, rug ripped out from underneath me. I cried and cried and cried. I hyperventilated. I called my dad. What do? I'm 3,000 miles away from home. And he's like, "Colleen, I think it was a blessing in disguise." So talk about, the only thing that you're good at being taken away from you. It's your income. It's your everything. But at the same time, it was making your life miserable. I took the next year to kind of stand back up on my own 2 feet, because it was really hard for me to wrap my head around that. And I refused to go back to that. I said, no. I finally started to realize that I'm better than that. My resume was solid. I could go get any job. Why would I go back there? And they actually started to ask me to come back. And that's when I started to realize that I wanted to marry Sean. I wanted to be with him forever, but I was not going to be able to do that if I didn't change the way that I was thinking, because he's all, "Babe, if you think positive things are going to happen." And when you're as angry and as upset as I was, you're like, dude, stop. Like, I don't even want to hear that. So I knew that I had to get Sean and I on the same level and start connecting. So I started to think of ways to make myself happy. And that's when I said, okay, you feel like crap. You look like crap. I mean, I didn't have a lot of weight to lose, but I was looking haggard. If you look at some of my old pictures, that I don't share all of them because I think I deleted half of them, but you can just totally see the difference. You all know about that. And so I hit up a friend I went to high school with who had major success. My upline is Elizabeth Hartkey. She's a very successful Beachbody coach, but very quiet and humble. You probably will never hear of her. She was in the Super Saturday video, though. 10-star diamond. She's a rock star, but very quiet. She had amazing success, and I knew she was living a life of freedom as a coach. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. Fitness and health. Someone else is successful doing it. It's my turn. And so since my opportunity to run the business that I was running, because that store was my baby. I kind of made that literally my business. I didn't have days off. I was always thinking about the sales numbers because I liked that job other than the boss. And so I said, this is my chance to own a business. I ordered T25 and vanilla Shakeology. And within days, my stomach, my ulcers, my mood, my acne, you guys know how it goes. It all changes. And so I said, okay, I am far from a successful person right now. What can I do to speed this up? I had no income. I lived off of Beachbody new coach income. up until this point, literally. I just started making money in the last year. My first year was a struggle for me, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I needed this to work. And so I said, all right, there are things that successful people do, and there's something I'm missing. And that's where mindset came in. So I'm going to talk about Miss Alexa for a second. She's rocking it. Congratulations, everyone, by the way. You as well, Alexa. I mean, seriously, to do what she's doing in planning a wedding, it's crazy. I know that there's one thing that Alexa has down, and it's her mindset. There's no way that Alexa can wake up every day and question and worry and stress and focus on negative things. And so this is where I'm either going to lose half of you or you're all going to go, crap, she's right. So I'm going to beg you guys to open up your hearts, open up your ears and your minds, and then at the end, you're going to go, you know what, she's right. And this is not because Colleen Eddy says so and she knows everything and she's right. It's because successful people, they focus on their mindset, they train their brains, and this is all in personal development books. But I noticed that when I would watch my leader, she would always believe, and her mind would work one way. And so you might think it's hocus pocus, whatever you want to think, but maybe your current plan or your current mindset isn't working. Maybe you wake up every day and you feel like you're just struggling. And it's common in this business. The only thing that usually holds people back in this business is their mindset. No one even knows what's going on behind the scenes. Like, I don't know what Alexa did today. I don't know what Emma did today. I have no idea. So it's all up here, guys. It starts in your heart, and then it goes here, and then it goes into action. So you have to learn how to master your mindset. So there's actually a difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. There's like legit scientific, I'm not going to get all weird about it, but there's legit differences. And one of the main differences is good thinking. And so what does that mean? So now you guys are probably going to every single day wake up and either hate me or love me for this, but good thinking is thinking about how you think. So every single day that you open your eyes, do you go, oh my God, I'm dreading this day so much, it's going to be horrible, I have to go to work, I spilled my Shakeology, I stubbed my toe. Whatever your mindset is doing, it's shaping your day. So tomorrow when you put your feet down on the floor, I want you to focus on your thinking. And just like working out, and just like your discipline of, getting those eating habits, it's never going to be perfect, but I want you to work at it every single day. So here's an example for you of how mindset is literally all perspective. If you're willing to just think about your thinking, you're going to change your perspective and go, I wish I did this a long time. So there's two sisters, this is my example, and they're hanging out in the kitchen. One of them is dying to get into this graduate program because she needs it to go on to the next part of her career. She's excited about this next part in her journey in her industry that she wants to work in. So she works so hard to get into this graduate program, and she gets this letter of acceptance, and she's celebrating in the kitchen. She's ready to go. I finally did it, okay? And then her sister sitting next to her, so we'll say Coach A is happy sister. Coach B, or Sister B, is looking at her going, that sucks. You have 4 more years of school. That's a lot of work. So every single day you can be Coach A and say, I'm so excited for this opportunity to learn, to grow, to fail, to move forward in my life. Or you can be Coach B and say, that sucks. That's a lot of work. You literally have the choice to look at that crossroad every single day. You might not get it until you start practicing that, but that's the most blatant example that I can give to you guys. I'm going to give you guys another even personal example of my life, and I started recently sharing this on calls because I love Beachbody coaches, and I seriously think that it's so, I have to share this story with you guys. It's a personal one. So recently in October, my fiance was diagnosed with testicular cancer. I don't say that for empathy or sympathy or anything like that, but let me tell you that in the busiest time of my business, in the craziest time of my life, we find this out. Mind you, he's a baby. He was only 23 at the time. He's 24 now, a whopping 24. I'm going to be 30. We find this out and we're just like, holy crap. And so just like everyday life is crazy. It is hard. You get news that just blows your mind like that, and you have 2 options. You can conquer it or you can crumble. Had I have not mastered my mindset when I heard that news, I don't know what the old Colleen would have done. I probably would have went in my team page and said, guys, I gotta step back. This is what's going on. But you know what I did? I actually crushed my business because Beachbody's community and the people and the personal growth and the mindset, all the things that we know as coaches, changed my life, and it pushed me to do more, be more. And we kind of just looked at each other and we're like, we're going to rock this. We got this. And so some people might think I'm crazy for thinking that, and I only share that example because there's going to be times in your life and business where things get hard. How many times do you guys talk to your friends or your coaches and they say, you know, I'm just too busy right now? When are we not going to be busy? Okay, it's like not life. It doesn't happen like that. Even if you're a Beachbody coach full time, you're even crazier busy. You're even more busy. So as a business owner, you want to be prepared. You don't want to just like, let's say it's the last day of the month, you have two options and you haven't hit Success Club. Do you, with 6 hours in the day, say I didn't hit Success Club? Or do you get out there and focus on what you can control for the next 6 hours? That's that crossroad. That's perspective. There's a million ways I can explain it. There's going to be slow seasons. You're going to drop rank. I mean, I hope not, but let's be real. Things happen in your business. I've lost some of my best coaches and they just didn't get it. They didn't see it and they were crushing it, but I can't force them to see it. And it broke my heart, but I had to keep going. And I was able to because I mastered my mindset. So you have to be proactive and focus on what you can control. As a leader in this business, and I'm speaking to all 18 of us here because we want to be leaders. You wouldn't show up on a team call if you wanted to be a half-ass coach, right? Excuse my French, but I highly doubt that you're here if you want to half-ass it. So I'm just going to be real with you guys. Focus on what you can control. When I lost my rank, there was one point in my business, I went from 1-star to emerald. Ooh, it was horrible. But you know what? Maybe I wasn't ready to be a 1-star yet. And the next 4 months, I focused on what I could control, which was work my butt off and get back to 1-star. Worrying and all that stress and negative energy is completely wasted. It does nothing. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how do I master my mindset. Do you guys ever wonder how people do the unthinkable? Do you guys look at Alexa Campbell and go, oh my God, how does she do it? Because I guarantee some of you guys do, okay? I know that she's trained her brain. She literally has trained her brain to go in one direction and one direction only, and it's where she wants to go. Sometimes in this business, you have to put your blinders on and remember why you started. We talk about all that all the time, but train your brain to not go, ooh, squirrel, squirrel. Oh, what's over there? Oh, that thing looks shiny. I need to go build a blog. Oh, I need to, focus on what it is that you need to accomplish. You cannot be all over the place. Train your brain. Why is a strong mind crucial? Why is building up the self-discipline of making yourself do your workouts, making yourself read your PD, making yourself master your mindset? Why is that even important? And here's why. Because people who don't have a strong mind and know what they want, they look to others for validation. Ooh, right? I don't think Alexa is worried about sharing and posting. I don't think that the leaders in this business are like, I don't know if this person's going to think about it. No, they have their mind made up. They don't ask for permission because it's all up here and they got it. So you have to have a strong mind and practice that so you don't need anyone else's validation. It's you. That's it. Okay? So some suggestions that I can make for you guys to help you with this. If you are taking notes, this would be, I guess, point number 1. I'm sure a lot of you have. This is kind of, going on a year now. The book You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I actually picked that book up. I read the books based on what my team needs. Yeah, I read books for me too, but I felt like my team needed to be badass. I hate the weenies. I hate the whinies. I hate the wishies. Just go and do, because for my whole life, I was the weenie. I was the victim. And so I wanted to help my team be badass. So read the book, You Are a Badass. You don't have to wait till you're done reading another book to start You Are a Badass either, because I feel like it's a completely different twist than any other piece of personal development. Like I've said, it's a daily task and it takes effort and time. So everything you guys feel and think today, maybe you're not confident, maybe you have no idea how you're going to hit your goals this year because you're all worried inside about it, and whatever your worries are, all of those things are a learned belief. And the really cool thing about a learned belief is that you can unlearn it. So I, for a long time, had certain insecurities. But because I finally go, oh, I have control to change that. I have control to change my income in my bank account. I have control of my future. I started empowering myself and I was like, I can change all that. And I did it in 2 years. We're not talking a lifetime here, guys. Work on it every single day. So the key is to catch yourself in that moment when you have that negative thought crawling into your brain, that little devil on your shoulder that is eating you alive. You need to catch yourself in that moment And the corny little thing that I used to do was I used to say the word forward. I'd be like, girlfriend, move forward. Just move forward. Whether it's out loud, write it on your mirror, whatever works for you. Get weird, be weird, like Carl says, and just move forward. Like sometimes you just have to physically almost pick yourself back up and keep going, but train your brain to push through that thought. Okay. So like I said, we were talking about empowering yourself. So how do I empower myself? You have to start doing things outside your comfort zone. I am the ultimate of ultimate excuse busters. If you guys feel like you have done everything in your power to grow your business, I will find something, and I do this to myself, so it's not, again, about me pointing fingers. I've done this to myself already. I knew I wasn't doing, it was a major reality check. I wasn't doing what I needed to do to grow my business. So I said, I know I was supposed to do that, but I was kind of scared. So I'm going to take a little step in that direction and just do it. That's how you learn how to empower yourself, because when you do it, you're like, all right, that wasn't too bad. I survived. I got a little sweaty. My knees got a little buckled, but I did it. And so the reason why I love doing these talks so much is because I was a new coach. We didn't have Coach Basics. We didn't have all this amazing stuff that Beachbody has now. And when I started, I was like, I don't want to just blend in. I want to truly make a difference. So how can I stand out? And so I challenge all my new coaches on our trainings to decide what their role in the team is going to be. Are you going to be a Beachbody coach, or are you going to be Alexa Campbell, the Beachbody coach? Are you going to be Emma Chesmore? I didn't know that was your last name. Are you going to be Ebony, the Beachbody coach? Are you going to brand yourself? Okay, so don't just fizzle in. Find out what your role is on the team. Start speaking up on the team page. Have you guys ever read the book, The Go-Giver? I hope you have, or at least heard of it. It's 100 pages. Listen to an audio, whatever you want. You have to give, and you have to give 10 million times more than you think before you're ever going to get. Okay? So when I read that book, I was like, oh my God, I want to go back and change my whole life. You have to give so much before you're ever going to get. So give to your team, and you will, Darren Hardy said something this year where he said, hopefully I don't butcher it. He said, start everything with being grateful, and you will soon live in abundance. So I start everything off by being grateful. And you know how you look at some people and you're like, why does all this awesome stuff just start falling in their lap? I'm kind of starting to feel that weird universe vibe where I'm just being grateful and I'm giving, and then it's just kind of happening for me. And I'm like, all right, I'm digging this. I really am. So be the giver. Don't be the sucker from the team page. Empower yourself. Take a step. Step up on the team calls. Ask questions. Ask to lead trainings. Be a leader. When you stop living that victim role and you decide, all right, enough is enough. I'm drawing the line in the sand. I want to be the victor, not the victim. Not because I have 2 kids and I'm busy and my husband drives me crazy, or I'm a military wife and this and that. Like, we all have our things going on. That's for sure. You have to be the victor. And I think when you're the victor, when you're that busy and when you're crushing your goals, it makes your story that much more powerful. Okay, so why can some people lose 100 pounds and some can't? Some people can't even lose 5 pounds. Some people can't lose a pound. I'm not really sure. I haven't figured it out. But I think it's all because of self-limitation. Self-limitation. The excuses, the time, we'll sum it up to self-limitation. So what is actually holding those people back? And I swear that it's the word fear. And when you realize that fear is not tangible, it's emotional, aka your mindset. When you realize that it's all up here and it's nothing holding you back, there's no red tape, there's no handcuffs on saying you can't lose 100 pounds, or 5 pounds, whatever it is you want to do. There's nothing holding you back besides you. But it has to come from so deep down in, and it starts with your brain. When I started speaking at Super Saturdays, people would say, oh my God, how do you get up there? I could never do that. I mean, public speaking is not easy for everyone. And at this point in time, I don't even have to think about this. I have a couple notes written down and I come on here because I've practiced. It started with my team calls. I'd ask a question every single week. Your voice will shake a little bit, whatever, who cares? And then it's going to start by leading the team calls or your own team calls. Want to know what I did for a long time? Talk to myself on my little phone while I was driving, not looking at myself, but I would just kind of talk, and then I'd be like, oh, that sounded horrible. Don't ever make your voice sound like that again. Or, just be weird. Go practice a little bit. All good. I actually have #BeWeird because Carl Deichler always says that. My first videos were so bad, but if you want to be a rock star in this business, you're going to have to step it up either way. Do you ever look at successful people and wonder how they become more successful? Like, I looked at Janelle Summers one day and I was like, dude, you got 45 diamonds. Can you give me some over here? Like, how are you becoming more successful? And it's honestly because whatever vibrations you put out there is what you're going to get back. And I strongly believe in that. So hocus pocus or not, I strongly believe in that. The second something negative goes into my team page, I will ask them, what kind of negativity do you want me to send back your way? Like, no, not having it. I don't accept it. I truly believe in that law of reciprocity. I can never say that. If you guys want more likes on your Facebook page, give more likes. If you want more comments, give more comments. If you want happy vibes, you have to offer those happy vibes. Okay, when you learn to accept the process of failure and mistakes, and I mean, this business isn't embarrassing to me, but let's just throw all the ugly words out there. You know, when you accept it to be embarrassing and difficult and you feel hopeless and why is this happening to me? Can I do this? Like all those crazy feelings, trust that process. I can sit here and spend hours talking about all those times for me, but it's not about me. I've been there, and one of my mentors said, accept and trust this process and you will become strong from it. And it's so true. When I dropped from 1 star to Emerald, I told my mentor, I said, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And they said, you're in this for the long run, right? Who cares if in, I think it was February 2014, you were in Emerald again for 4 weeks? Like, why does that matter? Even if I missed a goal for a qualification, it would probably crush my heart, but I'm in this for the long run. Like, I'm going to be making money and changing lives. That little thing does not determine the type of coach and the person that you are. And when you start to accept that life is hard, you're going to start to love a good challenge. Now I feel completely unstoppable. Alexa and I were talking about this. I'm like, if I can hit 5-star and I can grow my business and I can do all this while planning a wedding and going through all Sean's stuff, like, I feel like I could do anything. But I had to challenge myself every single day. And then a couple more things and I'm done. Then you guys can ask questions. So I think the reason that most people end up dodging becoming a coach or decide to not be a challenger in our groups is because they're afraid of failure. Failure is their biggest fear. The only time you fail is when you quit. That's it. Like I said before, other than if you have some success partner on your team or your upline, like no one knows technically if you missed Success Club. I'm not saying ever do that, but like, let's say like that was something that happened, or no one's going to know if you didn't do something. Okay. So the only time that you fail is when you quit. So that's why it's a one-on-one game. It's a competition with myself at this point. I put my blinders on. I mean, I could be comparing myself to Alexa. I could be comparing myself to Bonnie Engel. I talk to these girls all the time. If I did that, I would be crushed. But you know what? I'm hitting my goals and I'm living my life, and my business is different than theirs. I'm not quitting, so I'm not failing. That's how I look at it. And I want you to start replacing the word failure with the word stumble. Mindy Wender taught me that. So when we say stumbling is our biggest fear, it kind of sounds really silly, doesn't it? Stumbling is my biggest fear. No, it doesn't even work like that. Failure is only a delay. If you do happen to miss something, it's only a delay. Like you didn't break your head off, your arms off, and your legs off. You're going to be okay. Every single day that you wake up, you got to bring your A game though. Something that I always like to piece together, things that I've learned from mentors. And one of the best pieces of advice I ever got is find something that you can do and show up every single day. Now, you know what? It's Christmas week. You go on vacation with your family. You disconnect. You need that time. But I'm talking about the other 340-ish days of the year. Show up every single day. Find a way to make a difference and show up every single day because it's your responsibility. We're the CEO of our own business. No one else is watching you, and that's it. So my little blurb about personal development, I've learned so much from reading, and you have to find the books that work for you. You can't read a book and be like, oh, reading sucks. Like you have to find the books that work for you, or the audiobooks or the podcast, whatever it is, whatever your jam is, I don't care. But personal development is your toolbox. So you have this fancy little tool belt thing that you're rocking all the time. It's invisible. But every single time you read a book or go on a webinar or learn something, you stick a tool in your belt. And you might not use it today, but let's say something happens and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? You learn something from a book and you can instantly apply that. So you've got to apply yourself to personal development. So some other books I recommend are No Excuses by Brian Tracy. That book gave me the biggest across the face, and it made me realize it's my job to rank advance. It's my job to grow my business. I started to own it, and it was a huge game changer for me. Thinking for a Change by John C. Maxwell, and Life's Golden Ticket by Brendan Burchard. Life's Golden Ticket is a storybook, kind of like The Go-Giver. It's much longer, but it's such a vivid book. Like I had this whole scene like in my head. It made me cry on the plane, and it was one of those books that I was like, oh my God, this author is so right. So it's totally a life lesson. I loved it. So when you learn to master your mindset, that is when you will become unstoppable. You guys probably get on these calls and you ask Alexa, how do you do this? All the how-tos in the world are not going to fix your business until you master your mindset. So that's my jam.
Oh my goodness. Mind blown. I hope you guys took some notes. I hope that, I'm like, seriously, I was texting Emma while you were talking and I was like, I'm obsessed with this call right now. I mean,
it's so good. Like, I think I needed it, honestly. Like, to be completely honest, I needed it, and I'm very thankful that you got on this and shared everything you did. Mm-hmm. I know I was taking notes, so I hope everyone else is taking notes because that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's so true because, and thank you so much for the shout outs, by the way, but I can tell you right now that it is not easy. I could sit here and be like, oh, I have all of this stuff going on, and it's easy for your mind to kind of, just like she was saying, like making the excuses like, well, I'm busy, I have a wedding to plan, and I'm going to be traveling for like every 2 weeks for the next 3 months, which is what I've been doing. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to run my new coach training and trying to run my challenge groups. It's like, I could sit here and make excuses, or you can make the decision that you're going to be successful and you're just going to do the thing. Cause that's really where it starts. So, do any of you guys have any questions? You can either type them in the chat box or you can unmute yourself. But if you have any questions for Colleen or anything like that, anyone?
I love questions.
Anyone? I feel like your mindset.
It's true, girl. Yeah. I don't know. It's like an energy sucking over there. No offense to anyone. Actually, my whole team is from the East Coast. So in a way, like I should be saying that, but in my personal world over there, man,
Okay, so Courtney has a question. So what do you do every day to maintain your mindset beyond reading?
Okay, so I got really bored with reading. I read 17 books last year, and I felt like I was like this, like, I got to take it in and highlight. And so I needed something new. And so I read a book that taught me to try one thing different. And so I was so resistant to podcasts for so long. Again, no offense to anyone that likes it or loves her, but Shalene's podcast, I think, sucks. I don't know why I hate it so much. It's just like, I tried, I just don't like it. Entrepreneur on Fire, for me, that's my jam. So every morning, I don't even look at my phone, or I try not to, because when I wake up, I'm 3 hours behind the East Coast, and I can just, it's overwhelming. And so I turn on a podcast on my phone. Maybe for you, like I lay in bed for an hour, literally, and listen to my personal development, because the first hour of your day is the rudder of your day. So if you don't have the time to like lay around while you're getting in the shower, I used to listen to any top coach YouTube videos while I'd shower. Like, I didn't know what to do at some point in my business. I struggled so hard. I didn't have a team for 12 months. The first 12 months of my business, I did not have a team. I struggled so hard. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I would basically just shove in my ears all the goodies that I could get, and I became addicted to personal development because I was learning so much, and now I'm applying it. So they say that, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. I'm probably my 5 best friends are authors and podcast people because I basically was doing that. And you have to practice it. Like, if you have something that comes about and that makes you frustrated, I guarantee you have the ability to find the silver lining. Like, literally name it and there's a silver lining. I've challenged myself over and over again, and I can always find it. But you have to accept responsibility. For the people that are like, how do I fix my mindset? and I'm not saying you particularly, I'm just talking to the general, you know, you have to understand, okay, I am responsible for my happiness. For a long time, I was codependent on my fiance or my mom and dad, and who's going to love me today? Who's going to make me feel good? And when I was like, no, it's my job to make myself happy, because when I'm happy, I make other people happy. So that's how it works. It's kind of backwards. So those are some of the things that I've learned along the way.
Love it.
The first year of my business was hard. How so? I didn't know how to recruit. My first diamond was my fiance's account. For my first year, for my first 6 months, because I joined June 30th, 2013. So I was 6 months. I made $6,000. I survived off of what I had in my savings account and $6,000. It was rough, really rough. I went into a ton of debt. And I was afraid to recruit because I didn't understand that I wasn't trying to sign someone up to say, oh, I got a coach. I forgot how to understand, or I never knew, or I never could wrap my head around the concept of, I'm giving someone this business so that it can change their life. This opportunity, now I wholeheartedly believe in it, and I understand it. And how? Because I showed up every week to my team calls. I got to events. I hit my goals so that I could qualify for events. Because if you don't get to those events, sometimes it doesn't make sense. And when you get there, and I get to meet rad people like Alexa when we were at the premiere party, and it's just like, what's up? You know, and Emma too. It was so cool. That's when it comes together, and you're just like, this is just insane. I rocked Success Club, but I did not make team cycle bonuses. Like I was making $72 or something like that. But one of my mentors said to me, and I hope you take this to heart, you do not have the right to not share this opportunity because it's that life-changing. Had someone have not been willing to share their journey on Facebook and their Success Club trip and all the stuff that I saw her hanging out with her then fiance, now husband. And that's all I wanted to do was hang out with my fiance and live a life. We live in California. I'm not going to go to work and work a 9 to 5 every day. Absolutely not for me. So when I saw her hanging out with her man, I was like, that's what I want to do. And so all because she was willing to share that, now my life has changed. But you have to wholeheartedly know that this business opportunity can change someone's life. So that's kind of where I didn't get that in the beginning. I was like hitting Success Club 44, which when you're not recruiting coaches, like that was all Facebook, old school work. Like it was like, just like the oldest, and you cannot do that forever. Like I cannot hit Success Club 44 for the rest of my life doing that hustle. Now I'm showing people how to take the business and change their life. So that's how it was hard. I get long-winded in my answer, sorry. When I had doubts about my business, what thoughts did you replace them with? So when you sign up as a coach, I hope that you guys have a vision. A leader thinks 2 years in advance. They're not thinking about July. They're not thinking about June. They're thinking about 2 years from now. I'm going to have a house. I'm going to buy my fiance a brand new car with a bow on it because he drives a 92 Pathfinder. My car will be paid off. I know I will be there because I want to be there. And this opportunity can give me that. I've accepted that. I mean, I can work from home in my PJs. I can do this for a job. When you're grateful, abundance will appear. Don't worry about anything else. Just do the things that we're asking you guys to do, which is like freaking have fun, And so when I had doubts of my business, what thoughts did you replace them with? I kept thinking about my end result. I kept saying on my 2-year anniversary, I'm having my first dance with my fiance, and I'm going to say, babe, I did it. And I'm literally going to be able to do that. You have to have vision and you have to have drive. But before that, before you think about all the fluffy rainbows and all the cool things that you can do with the money and the freedom, you have to build up your self-discipline. The reason I did Insanity Max 30 is because I feel like if I could survive 60 days of that, I could do anything. Step up your fitness game. If you guys need a little bit of an edge, it's not about you being ripped and having a six-pack. It's about like Alexa is super committed to her transformation and super committed to her workouts, and she shares that. So it's like if you're kind of struggling a little bit, that's what boosted me. And guess what? I didn't sell one Insanity Max 30. I still haven't, but people took my business seriously because they're like, whoa, this girl is going to do something. And I was like, I'm going to show you guys I'm going to do something. So, I mean, I can't tell you what to think about your business and what thoughts, to put in your head, because why did you want to do this? Like, it's not like, oh, I want to like change my life and my future. I want to help people. It's like, specifically, like, I want to be able to drive my son to school. I don't even know if you have kids, but I'm just making up an example. Like, I'm not sending my kids, I'll send them to school, but I'm not sending them to daycare. My friends call me bawling their eyes about maternity, and I'm like, oh, maternity leave being over, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So why did you sign up? And have that thought in your head. You just have to like replay it and then accept that this can help you do that. Did you ever have any perfectionist issues when starting your business? How did you overcome them? No, I didn't have any perfectionist issues because I knew it was going to take me 2 years. You could say a year, whatever you want, whatever time frame. You know, if you want to do it in 1 year, you got to hit SC 10 and above, and you got to do X amount of coaches a month. You got to change so many lives in a month. If you want to do it in 2 years, you can do Success Club 5 to 10-ish, you know. Those Success Club and things like that are there for a reason. It's not because they want you to just say you hit Success Club. It's to help you grow your business. It's a marker. And so in the beginning, I was like, okay, I have to hit Emerald. I simplified it. I have to hit Emerald. I have to get my Shakeology paid for. I have to open my spouse's account because it's a second income earning opportunity. I have to get to events. And I basically just knew that it was going to take me time. But I'm not kidding you. Like, I sacrificed a lot. I really did. Did I still have a quality of life? Absolutely. But I was not just blowing off when I could be reading a book or creating something for my team or changing a life. I wasn't just doing something else. Like, I totally threw that thought out the window. Did I answer the second half of that question? How did I overcome them? I think I keep giving the same answer, but I kept thinking about the long term. When you fail or when something goes wrong, it doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna do this I'm never gonna give up. I hope all 18 of you never give up because you're crazy. You will kick yourself so hard. This company is just getting started. It is like Bob Lucido. He's one of our founding coaches. He's on the CAB coach advisory board, and he's like, you guys have no idea what's in store. Like, it's crazy. And I've watched the people in my organization above me are some of the highest earners in this entire company. They're not top coaches, but they're the highest earners. And so I've learned so much from them. And all they would remind me of, Colleen, you're in this for the long run. Like, you missed your leads last month. My first month as a new coach, I missed leads. I didn't have all my check boxes for being like an Emerald coach or something, my profile. And I was like, oh, I missed leads. And they're like, Colleen, you're in this for the long run. So that was their answer. You can't be a perfectionist because you will not succeed. I promise you that. People are always negative. It's always run, run, run. How do you stay positive when people are negative around you so that doesn't get in your head? That's why are you're letting other people run your entire life if you care what they say. Like, I'm a super tough love kind of coach. I know I can be direct with you guys, but like, why? You got to build up your I don't know, determination, your power, your self-love. How about that? Like, you don't have to be all egotistical about it, but people know, like, because I've worked on myself for so long, like, what are they being negative about? I don't understand why anyone ever has any negativity about what we do. Like, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever we're talking to, like, I'm the happiest and healthiest I've ever been. I'm sorry if that doesn't make you happy. But I never understand that question sometimes. Oh, you're mad because I'm eating carrots and hummus? I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand. People always say, my family picks on me for being unhealthy. You guys probably think I'm a total snob right now, but that's just how I think. To-do list tips. Okay, so, like, this is a to-do list that is for my wedding. This is a to-do list for my mother-in-law. So this is my planner from Target. It's really simple. Like, can you guys see all the like days and whatever? It's like, you know, every day. This is my baby. I need it to be big, and I need to have 3 to 5 things that I know I need to get done every single day. And then I cross it off, and I feel badass by the end of my day. If you don't have anything on your list, I highly suggest that you go back and recircle with maybe your upline, because everyone's business is different of what you need to be focusing on. But if I could give you my biggest piece of advice, every single day, find a way to share your story on social media, because social media is a freebie. For the coaches that don't want to share on social media and it's not their thing, you're throwing business down the drain. This is the century of social media and free marketing to share and change lives. So please don't disregard social media. And so find a way every single day to remember the old you before you started. Like, what did that person think, feel, do, and what do you do now? Talk about the emotion. Talk about the how. Don't be a cookie cutter Beachbody coach like Shakeology, because that doesn't work, okay? You want to be out there every day inspiring. I always say share emotions, not promotions. Yeah, we talk about Shakeology, but why don't you talk about being healthy and why drinking your superfood shake, use keywords instead of Shakeology all the time, has changed your life. For me, I had ulcers. So for the people that wanted to tell me to eat healthy, I couldn't eat a salad. I couldn't eat bananas. I couldn't eat watermelon. I still can't eat avocado. I don't know why, but I can't. I had a lot of food allergies, and Shakeology changed my life because I can eat healthy things. Like, it's just crazy. Okay, so to-do list tips. Find a way to share your story every single day, and find a way to talk about how coaching has changed your life. We're going to talk like business people. My business, my team. Like, when you get off this call, and you don't have to rave about the call like that I did, just get off the call and say, like, this is so awesome that I get to hang out in a video chat with 16 people every, what day is it? Tuesday night, and be inspired and get pumped up and help people. Like, that's what you get to do. Part of your job. I think I can talk forever. I gotta shut up.
Amen, sister. Thank you. Anybody else have any last minute questions?
I just want
Now is your chance.
That was amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I'm crazy, so sorry.
Oh my goodness, not at all. I was just sitting here the entire time going, yes, I needed this kick in the butt.
And so the key now is that you have to take this fire, and every single day that you're struggling, remember, like, whatever stuck with you, obsess over it. Like, when I used to get on these calls and that would push me, you just got to get obsessed with that line and replay it in your head. Yeah, well, whatever works for you.
I have a dream board, if you see it right behind me, and anything that sticks with me, I stick it up there. And the hubby actually sometimes is like, you're a little too positive. And I'm like, oh, it's what motivates me to see this on the wall every day. So yep. I'm excited.
Hey, I'm glad.
I know. It's got me pumped up too.
Yeah.
Just getting back in town after Vegas. So I'm like trying to get back into my routine, and I'm like going to get married soon. So it's like, this was awesome. So thank you so much, Colleen.
You're very welcome.
If any of you guys, I don't think anybody has any more questions. I'm going to stop recording.